because I don't know what's going to happen.
All right, and we're live on YouTube, so then I'm going to go live on Facebook.
All right, we are live on Twitch. Woo! Yay!
And I think we are officially live on Facebook. This is amazing. Everything went live. Super. Oh, hello. Hello, Von Killian. I'm going to forever call you that. By the way, YouTube, I respond to comments, so you guys aren't going to see them, but you'll see comments on the side here on StreamYard, just so you know.
Facebook comments, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I'll tell you guys about the YouTube comments.
And I have Twitch up, but we don't have any followers.
There's going to be comments everywhere.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool.
so we'll give this everybody a second to start. And then I'm going to say hi real fast. Yeah, working platforms.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. If you're looking through the window, I'm on the second floor, so you're probably not watching me. Hi, guys. Welcome to CosTalk Live episode 9.
Yes, episode 9. You are
I'm not
correct.
drunk, I swear.
And we have a guest today, and I'm trying to figure out which way to point. Okay, the guest is over
I'm losing
here.
mine.
And would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I was trying to like share everywhere, like spam everyone I know.
Totally good. It's fine.
Hello, my name is Ariel, also known as Air Bubbles Cosplay. I'm a cosplayer and variety streamer. I also work during the day right now, but I cosplay a lot of stuff from like Magic the Gathering and Destiny the video game, and it's like my goal to try and make things glow or smoke in some way, basically. But yeah, and then I also play Magic Arena Online and Destiny, and I just recently got into Animal Crossing, and boy is that addicting.
I have seen so many posts on Animal Crossing that I'm like, I don't play it, but I get to live vicariously through everybody else who does. There's so many people streaming it and posting pictures, and I'm like, oh, look, someone made a Zuko.
You have subtitles on this, Sam?
Do I?
Cool.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
I guess I do.
Is that a Facebook thing or is that a StreamYards thing?
That might be a StreamYard thing. I'll have
Okay.
to check. They've been doing upgrades, and they just did an update, I believe.
Well, Twitch isn't showing it, huh?
Well,
maybe it's a
Twitch
Facebook
isn't
thing.
inclusive, and that's terrible. No, it might just be the integration with StreamYard and Facebook.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Cool.
So if you're seeing closed
All right.
captions, I don't know how accurate they are what we're trying.
I was like looking at it like, what? It says live vicariously through everybody who. It's gonna say it again. Who does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So and below we
Okay.
have Jinx Cosplay, Miss Mario.
Hi guys! Thanks for joining us again. My name is Jessica. I'm Jinx Cosplay. I've been cosplaying since 2001. I have cosplayed all over the world, kind of. I'd say that, but it's cheating. Not really all. I've been to Dubai and London. And I do mostly video game cosplays. And again, I apologize for the mess because I'm still moving. But we're going to get working on cosplay soon. Yeah!
Yay!
All right. And then on Twitch, you're here. So you're
Yeah. That's correct. I'm still there. And I am Sam from Thermo Cosplay. I've been cosplaying for 6 years. I'm currently sponsored by the Cosplay Pros, and they are an Arizona-based cosmaterial company. They're really cool. I'm also really chatty and love to present panels everywhere.
I like
everywhere.
that. Everywhere.
I have presented, I before the pandemic, I averaged 40 to 50 panels per year across the Southwest, West Coast, and Pacific Northwest. So,
That
You know,
is
if you
super rad.
didn't work full time, I would have been like, Sam, you and I need to. So I met somebody who did a cosplay course at like Scottsdale Community College.
mhm.
Like I was like, they do cosplay courses, and they said,
That
she said
is
yeah, there were two
cool.
professors, and they kind of did different things, brought in people, obviously like experts in different areas, and I was like, what the heck? That's what I should be doing. I should be teaching cosplay.
That sounds
So
like fun.
if you weren't full time working, I would have been like, yeah, Sam, let's do it. But,
I mean,
maybe
if it's in
another
the
lifetime.
evening, I can do it.
Oh gosh, you'd be so busy, Sam. You take on so much. Anyway, it's just a pipe dream for now.
Make it work. All right,
There's
so
there's a thing called Costume College in California, and
Yeah.
I've taught there, and it's just like the most magical experience ever. It's so much fun.
well, that's
Oh,
so
I'm not on
cool.
the level to teach at Costume Con. No way. I'm just on the level to teach Cosplay 101. That's as far as I can go right now.
A lot of the people there are kind of more like costumers, for lack of a better definition, versus like a cosplayer. So like I taught like cosplay 101 and those things because
cool.
it is new information and it's super. You should look into it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe I will. I wouldn't do it go as an attendee though, but you know. Anyway.
All right. So today we're going to talk about electronics and cosplay, and that's a very broad spectrum there. So we can discuss quite a few things. We'll go all over, guys. So if you have questions, you please let us know because we're probably going to jump around because electronics are like that too. You see a shiny thing and you're like, I must use this. And then you just use it and then there's another shiny thing and another shiny thing and it's like, yeah. It's like having a bunch of squirrels and crows everywhere.
Crows? Why crows?
All right. Before we get into electronics, Miss Ariel, what drew you to cosplay? Why did you start?
Oh man. Well, so I went to college to get a degree in theater. I did do that. I mean, I did get a degree in theater, but initially I wanted to like be an actor because it sounded cool at the time. And then you had to like either work in the costume shop or in the actual shop, and I was like, power tools are scary. So I went into the costume shop, and then I started like I did my first show, and I did a bunch of other ones after that. So I kind of like did the costume design world, and then I made my first costume, and I was like, wow, this is so much freaking fun. And so it kind of just grew from there. And then I met my now husband, who got me into magic, which is one thing I cosplay a lot from now. And then I started making armor, and it just kind of like exploded. And
that's what cosplay does.
Yeah, but it is a nice combination of like a costume designer and also the theatrical aspect. Yeah. And now it's just like the dream to eventually do it full time, which I did a little bit of last year, but you know, life happens. So,
oh gosh, yeah.
But yeah, I got to dip my toes in, and I really like making people happy and making stuff.
You know, I have to like jump in on there because I actually went to school for theater too. I didn't finish, but I did theater in high school and then went to college and did theater and started out in the cosplay or in the costume department because I started cosplaying when I was in high school. So by the time I got to college, it was like, well, yeah, of course I'm going to go into the I keep wanting to say cosplay room, costume room. But yeah, it's the same. Like that's why I love cosplay too, is because it brings both that creative crafting, sewing, designing, and then also the acting. I mean, and I know some cosplayers take it completely different ways all the time. That's how I like it. So, I know some people are like, I don't want to act, I just want to take pictures. That's cool. I love that I can act in it,
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
See, I like to be on stage, but I have like no direction. So this is why I need people like you guys, because I'm just like, let's do this. Like, Sam, no, that won't work on stage. Oh.
Oh, Anthony's chatting to us. He says he loves the costumes. Thanks for joining in, Anthony.
Hi.
Yeah. What is your costume She-Ra? Is that
yes.
what it is? I just started watching She-Ra. I finally jumped on the boat.
Oh, it is so good.
I finished all of it, awesome. And now I'm like, must do new outfit. Must do new outfit.
Did you sell yours, Sam?
Well, no. I made the She-Ra that I made literally in one day because last minute someone's like, do a She-Ra group, and I was like, okay. And I made the sword already, but like that I even rushed. I think I made that in 8 hours because I was like, what can I make with all these crazy leftover materials I have? And it actually turned out pretty good. Shocking.
I've been working on this for months, but it's mostly like I'm just really lazy and like I have to do the boot covers still, and I'm like, I hate making boot covers. I had to buy new fabric though because I ran out of this scuba knit and they don't sell it anymore. So I had to buy swatches. It was like a process. So I'm just like, ugh.
I bought fabric for a costume I'm doing right now, Tamatoa from Moana, and I hated it, and so then I bought new fabric, and I loved it so much that I was like, I'm buying 2 yards extra. I don't care if I need it, because if something goes wrong, this is one of those weird, rare enough fabrics that's going to disappear and not come back.
Are you doing the Sunset Dragon one?
No, I did my own design.
Okay, because I was like, I'm also working on Tamatoa, but I'm not creative enough to make my own.
We're doing a whole group, and I was like, hey, let me illustrate. They're like, we like them. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be Moana, and then Liz is going to be
Tafiti.
Tafiti, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we have a fourth person as Taka.
Taka, so. Yep.
I'm so excited.
Oh, we have another person that used to do theater, too. So
On YouTube?
I mean, there you go. I didn't. I went to school for animation, and then
That's
I
so
did
creative.
illustration on the side, and now I have a master's degree in business, and that's why I'm in technology.
None of that makes sense, Sam.
Shh, it makes sense in my
Are you
brain.
drunk?
So since we're talking about technology, let's talk about cosplay electronics, and how did you get started in them?
Very good. So, I mean, okay, so let's start, because I don't do a lot of electronics. Okay, I do, like, 1% of my cosplay has, like, electronics in it. And that's, like, a strip of, like, fairy lights. So, like, how do you make the leap from, like, sewing, costuming, and armor making into, like, oh, I want to make that light up? Like, how do you pick your characters?
I would say...
Based on difficulty, I would say.
I kind of started out with baby steps. Like, the first thing I did where I put any sort of light in it was Chandra from Magic the Gathering. She has a gauntlet, and I put a light in her hand. I don't have this one anymore. It's very old. But
do you have pictures of it, or is it the one... I might still have pictures of it.
Oh, God, this one's so old.
Is it the one that you sent me pictures of, maybe?
No, because it's...
Oh, it's old. It's ancient.
It's my first armor build ever.
That's fine. If you don't have pictures,
Wow, and
it's
you went
okay.
with lights, too.
Yeah, I basically put like a ring light, or not a ring light, we were talking about ring lights. I put a EL wire in it, and then I ran the battery and basically like put it around my bicep, because I was like, I don't know where to put this giant pack, because EL wire takes like a ton of power, so usually it needs a big battery, and it would constantly like bruise my arm and stuff. So after that, I was like, I want to learn how to do my own things. And I think, well, now I think I'm getting out of order, but I think I went from that and then to fairy lights. And then my first like actual circuit, which is really messy today, was in a prop. So it's kind of like, I just kind of picked like pieces, and then eventually you kind of, I don't know, add more when you're more comfortable. I know it's a really dumb answer, but it's just like start small and then work up. But
you
if
leveled
it's a big
up.
costume,
That's the thing. You started like basic level, then you went from like level 1, level 10, and then you jumped from 10 to 50 because you're like, why not?
Yeah, so my only project I have lights with is Widowmaker from Overwatch. And I did such baby steps. Like, these are the tiniest baby steps ever. So obviously, I should have been ready with pictures. But
it's okay.
So the headpiece, she has these, I can't even think what they're called. But the little, I made them out of the transpa art, and then painted them with red nail polish, and then I stuck the fairy lights in them. The ones you get on Amazon that have like the tiny little battery pack. And then on her gauntlet, it glows purple. So I just took a purple glow stick, and I was like, if it goes out, I just have extra. I just replaced it, and that's as far as I've gotten with electronics.
That is amazing. I love it.
But yeah, I was like, I gotta care. Oh, I don't think I have pictures of the lighting. But anyway, you guys go on. I think I have a video somewhere, but that's like my extent of light.
This was like the first circuit I ever did, and it's kind of messy, but that's the inside of it. So it's just 12 LEDs, and this is when I first started programming too, so they flicker like fire.
Oh, cool.
So I kind of did actually jump. I went from like fairy lights, and then I went, I'm going to make a smoke machine. I'm going to program these guys. But like I could not have brought the whole costume up here because it would have been ridiculous. But like a chroma from Magic, and I have a whole picture of it I can share. And unfortunately, this is dead, and I don't have batteries anymore. But like this all has fairy lights through them that I just like stuck in through holes, and then it's and they're actually fairly bright. Which I think some people don't realize. Like, they can be light as long as you diffuse them properly. And so, like, I helped diffuse them with Transpart, and I painted the gems green. And I also made sure the lights were green, so it was, like, extra green.
Yep.
But
yeah, I feel like if you cluster and diffuse, it really helps. Even putting, like, a little piece of tinfoil to help it reflect more, something very small will enhance the brightness of your lights.
Yeah. Let's see. I can try and let's see if I can share my screen.
Yeah, I'll activate it. Let's go ahead and put it up.
Oh my god, I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh good, I can select.
No, you can select your own tabs and stuff. It's awesome. There you go.
Oh yeah. So this is outside in LA, and it's like really bright. But I mean, you can still see like the lights in
brighter,
there.
Yeah, you
and
can
they're
see all the
fairy
corners.
lights. So
wow, you look awesome.
Thank you. But yeah, this one I was like lights, wings, just everything. But yeah, so it can look really good, which is really fun.
So do your wings move too?
Yeah, they were just pulleys though. So
okay, that's awesome.
Still awesome.
I almost clicked leave studio. That would have been bad.
Here, I can close it out if you want me to. You want me to close it out?
Oh, I think it just.
There you go. Yeah. Okay.
I just
So
wanted
can I
to
just share my dumb little video of my one
do it.
my one triumph
It's not dumb. It's your work in progress. It's
with
your
electronic.
baby.
Let's see, where is it? Application. Where'd it go? Oh,
It
there it is.
disappeared.
Okay,
There you go.
this is my wait.
Is that the one?
The actual window. Yeah, this is me trying to be all cool, like, oh my god, look, I made it light up. Where is it? Oh, and then I had a little switch in there.
Perfect.
Sorry, it's so there. Yeah.
It's okay.
That's
But it's so sunny
awesome.
in Phoenix. Yeah, it's so sunny in Phoenix, like no one knew, you know. So yeah, that's my little. I was like, oh my god, I made something light up.
It's a wonderful moment. No matter how you made it light up, like that is what I want to stress. It doesn't matter what you did. It's still like hard to figure out how to put it inside your costume. I don't know how you fit a glow stick inside of your costume.
Like a little tube. Just put a tube within a tube. There you go.
I had to make a little case thing. Like I had to make it, and then it goes underneath, so you have to take it off, put the little glow stick inside, and then you wear it. But yeah.
Yeah.
I would have used a candy tube, and I would have like integrated it into my costume and thrown it in the candy tube.
Candy tube.
Yeah, like Christmas and holidays. There's always these little candy tubes.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like the ones filled with M&Ms.
That is so
Yeah,
smart.
that's a good idea.
I love that. Oh yeah, like the back of it was all silver duct tape. So that's to help it shine
Wait,
through.
what?
Like
Silver
the
duct
inside,
tape.
so it's got this weird like thing, and it's all silver
they-
duct tape inside there.
That's brilliant.
To make sure
So
the light
it's
reflects and
brighter.
it's brighter. Yeah. Yeah. That's
I have
cool.
a desk filled with things to show you, so I'm really.
This is awesome.
And it's-
Yeah,
and
because see, I haven't really done many lights. I've done more like chemical reactions to create light. So like I've done strontium aluminate mixed with fabric paints or other adhesives on fabric, and then I charge it in the sun and make it glow. So like that's what I do.
That's legit. Maybe we need to talk more after this. The Tamatella I'm making, and I have a picture of the monster I've made so far, but I'm actually making it so she glows, so that when the lights go off, I turn bright blue, like in the movie.
You can do that with
So-
paint, and it won't even appear in the daytime if you don't want it to.
So I have some paint somewhere over there.
So-
but
So I want to talk about how you start. Like you taught yourself this, or do you have a background in electronic? And I don't know, like nothing, absolutely nothing. So I mean, where did you start? Like I'm the same way. Like I have no idea. Like I just put the fairy lights, but like wiring all this stuff yourself, like I wouldn't know where to start.
I had a friend that she had kind of inspired me to do so. I guess like two people kind of inspired me to do like lights and smoke machine work. And actually, so the smoke machine and the lights were like at the same time. So that was when I had to learn how to solder because I'd never soldered before. Thankfully, I had friends that were like, buy X soldering kit. And I know that's a question we'll get to later. Buy this soldering kit and, learn it basically. And I was like, great. My husband's into computers, so he's done like a little bit of soldering, but he's like, no, I want you to teach yourself. Ooh. And I was like, that's rude. Now if he wants me to solder something, I'm like, you can do it yourself. But,
so we have someone that said that Flux is your friend with electronics. Flux.
Yeah, I've only recently been using that. I did like the hard road to learning electronics. So yeah, definitely watch videos and do things that I did not do. Which was just
well, and there's places like Punish Props and Kamui Cosplay and Armor and Armory, I think, stuff like that. They all have guides on like how to just kind of get started. And there's also YouTube. If you literally type DIY like LEDs on YouTube, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. And yeah, so it's been like, even I still am learning and getting better. Like every time I solder something, I'm like, that looks great. And then I look at old stuff and I'm like, what was I doing? because I like to reuse things too. So if there's a project I'm like, I'm never going to wear this thing again, or I'm going to replace this thing, I'll just take its guts out basically and reuse them later. And then I'm like, who soldered this? It was me. So it's just been practice and teaching myself basically.
Yeah, there's another way to do it too, and this is like how I learned more about it. I bought children's toys. I broke them apart, and then I would activate something and see like what, like I would separate it and see what didn't work, and then resolder it back together again, and just learn where all the wires connected. That's how I learned to turn off sound diodes. Yay!
That's smart. That is a great idea. I think actually Punished Props says that too. They talk about that because they gut something and kind of put it back together.
Yeah, well, and they're really simple because they're kids' toys, and so they need to make them pretty durable. You don't want too many parts, right? So if you're just trying to figure out basic things, they're probably going to be like $10, which is cheap. And then you're not screwing something up that you're like, oh gosh, I can't. This will be too expensive.
Yeah. But also like just learning the basics of like, what is an LED?
Yep.
The different kind of circuits to make. This first time when I made this 12 LED one, it did not work because I made it in a series, I think, which is basically like daisy chaining it together, versus it needed to be in parallel because of how the power and voltage needed to be distributed. So I was very frustrated for a long time, and then my friend was like, oh, you need to do this. And I was like, oh. It just means more wire and it looks messier, but like I've literally soldered like everything in parallel, mostly. I don't really ever do anything in series.
If you're in Arizona, there's a store called Fry's Electronics, and they typically sell like LEDs and stuff like that. And a lot of the people, if you go in that department,
there's some throughout the Southwest region.
Yeah,
we have
Nevada.
Right, and the staff there, if you ask them for help, each LED has like a certain number on it, and they'll explain to you, okay, then you'll need, like, depending on the number of these that you have, you'll need this power module or this type of wire. And so sometimes you just ask for a little bit of help, right? I mean,
yeah, it's true. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, okay, and then where do you get your, let's talk about, like, equipment.
Yeah.
Like, materials. I have no idea where's this wire?
Amazon, Jess! Everything at Amazon.
This is my child. I've had it for, like, 6 years now.
It's
or
the blue child.
5 years now. It's like a Hako soldering iron you can get on Amazon, and sometimes they'll be on sale. It's really, really good for beginners too. And I know there's I think there's probably better ones out there too. But I mean, I've flown with this on a plane to Japan. Like it's good. And then I recently learned about sort of oh my God, my brain is like not functioning right now. The solder, which is right here.
Okay.
I
was like, how does it work?
You melt a little bit of it, and that's what creates the connection for the wires to whatever it is you're trying to connect it to for power.
I actually didn't know that. I don't know why.
You have to have solder because you can't just take the raw exposed wire and expect it to stay attached. You have to have solder.
I wish. One thing, and this is some people say get the ones that are lead free because it's like better for your health or whatever, and that's true, yes and no, but like it really sucks if there's no lead in it. So like this combination is a tin and lead with a rosin flux core, and I really like this one.
And gloves to protect yourself, and if it has lead, then you're okay.
Yeah, I usually have a window open or something, but I mean, like a lot of times I didn't, and I'm fine. But just don't use the ones from like the 70s because those are gonna have like a lot more lead in them. But yeah, it's fine. It's pretty safe. Like that's the common misconception is people are like, there's lead, you're gonna die, and it's like no, it's only like a 40. I think it's 40% lead. So no, 37. This one's 37% lead.
Yeah,
so it's
and the lead really does work better. It's got better adhesion because its melt rate is so much nicer, and it cools faster too, so it's easier to work with.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually get my solder and my soldering iron from Amazon, where I buy like a lot of my stuff. Is from Adafruit. I buy pretty much everything from there because it's really good for if you're not I don't want to say super smart, but I mean it's very easy. They make it very easy.
Adafruit shop on Amazon, or is it separate?
No, it's separate. I can type it in.
Okay. So it's very like beginner friendly.
Yes.
Kind of
what just happened.
Pared down to basics. Okay.
Yeah, and they have a lot of helpful tutorials that people have written and added, and there's forums where people are really helpful. I've written to the forums like many times. But they have a lot of stuff. Pretty much everything on my desk right now has been from Adafruit.
Okay.
Because they also sell like smart things. So they have boards, which are their like Arduino boards. So you can make a program in them. That's like what's in this box that makes it flicker like fire. I have a video of two things.
I still feel like
real
it's
quick.
very
I'm gonna
boring.
share. I'm gonna share the Adafruit so that people can see.
Perfect.
Adafruit.
Yes, I love them.
They have a bunch of products, circuits, Arduino, LEDs,
Okay.
just all bunches of stuff.
So much stuff.
And they also have like L-wire too, which they have really cool like L-wire panels or EL. I don't know. There's so many ways to pronounce it at this point.
Yeah. They have a lot of cool stuff. I personally do not like EL wire because it takes so much to power them and they're not even that bright. But they are good for certain things, and I would never tell someone not to do it. But I might suggest to explore other options if you're worried about like weight or where are you going to put my battery or something like that.
Yeah. They do
Now
have compact, so you can do compact, high, like there are the USB recharging blocks, and they have smaller ones, but you have to go for like a higher charge, like voltage, that's the word I'm looking for, and you can use those. Just know that you're going to be spending a great deal of money to power your L-wire, because the higher the voltage on those little flat USB ones, it's pricey but worth it, because you can also recharge it. It usually has up to 40 or 50 hours of life.
Yeah.
But then you got to think about how often am I going to... I mean, if you're going to put that much work into a costume, then you'll probably,
if you can take it apart and attach it to other costumes, then it's worth it.
True.
Yeah.
See, that's, like, when you say pricey, like, what kind of price range? Because,
I think for one of the flat, higher, I think it's like 100 to 150. I mean, you can probably
If
get
that
it
was
for
something
cheaper.
that you used with every costume, then that might be worth it in the end, I would think.
Yeah, but L-wire definitely uses a lot more power than some of the other lighting equipment or options, lighting options.
I'm a big fan of their NeoPixel line, and depending on what you buy, it can be expensive. So like I can show 2 videos in a second of like a strip in action and then rings in action. I just bought this. It's like a whole reel. This is $100, but it is 4 meters, I think.
Yeah,
4 meters. So it's a lot, but like I'm also going to be running this along the bottom of a skirt. So
you're gonna need a lot.
Yeah.
I might need more.
Yeah.
But I like it because you can cut it, which means you don't really waste anything, and then you can solder it back together. And I actually one of this sword, one of the strips in here was actually ripped out of an old sword, and so, this doesn't work right now because I forgot to resolder it back together. But I ripped it out of an old sword, so I try and make sure I can reuse things just in case. This one, I would cry if I have to take it apart because I like it, but maybe one day I will. So I'm sorry, I'm so chatty.
No, it's fine.
We're on a talk show.
This is what we're supposed to do. All right, let me load this for you. There you go.
Yeah, so this is the sword when it was living. I just soldered it very badly, so when it came back from Chicago, it was not happy.
It needed to have a little bit of a pampering.
Right. Oh no, I can't play it because the thing. Oh, hide. That's the button I wanted. Hide. There we go. So it flickers like fire. I wish I could have put more strips in it, but there's 2 strips that run down it, and it kind of like changes color as it goes down. And it does the same on the other side, but it's powered by one of the rechargeable bricks, like a phone charger. I don't know where I put it, but I mean it's about like it's probably
like a portable battery.
It's like a little bit longer than this guy. So and then
I wanted to talk about batteries, and I was like, wow, that's something I never knew about.
Yeah, power bricks are wonderful, and there's so many different types of them.
Pretty.
Yeah, so this one also is powered by a brick, much bigger, but this goes on my back, so I just put it in my pocket. So, but yes, these have 8 rings in them, 1 on the front and 1 on the back, basically. I had help programming this from a friend of mine from my old job. They all are at the same time, but they change color from like blue to purple to orange, I think, or something like that. But yeah. And it lasts a long time with the battery. So, but this is probably like my most favorite project.
Yeah.
is
It's
dear to my heart.
amazing. That's why
And,
we
like-
had to share that photo because it's like,
And they're very bright. This is on stage
you can tell they're lit
in
up.
Chicago, and you can still see all of the lights. So that's also why I love NeoPixels, is they're stupid bright, and you can adjust the brightness and all those things, which is really great. I'm using them in Tamatoa. This is my very weird looking brain bucket that is in progress. With an image of gold all over it, and that looked like a weird brain
That's
bucket.
awesome.
Wait, so this is this light is called what? I'm sorry.
The NeoPixel.
NeoPixel light, and that's the one that comes on that roll.
Yeah, you can get it in a roll.
Oh,
You can
sounds
get
like
like
a movie.
individual gems, so
Eat a
like
fruit.
each
Okay.
of those little dots or a
So,
ring.
okay, so when you're talking about like little dots and like cutting them up, like how do you connect them? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I saw the strips. Can you cut them? Are they cuttable?
Yeah, like so in this image, let's see if I can zoom
Just
in.
don't cut the
So-
light itself. You cut where there's like a little break.
Yeah, so like you can see right here, this was
Mhm.
cut, but I soldered there, and then it's cut back here, and then this is sort of the header. This is where it's all being powered, and so like
You
each of
just
those.
solder all of them.
Yep. So it takes time especially because these are very, very thin lines you have to solder on, and that's where Flux is going to be your friend. But yeah, and it takes practice. That's why I didn't want to do this project until later, because I was not a good enough solderer to do this yet, and now I'm pretty
Solderer.
okay at it. But yeah, solderer.
And then when you talk about they come in like single gems, also as well, you have to solder that to a
Yes.
battery. So
and
is it worth doing like single gems? Like,
I haven't used single gems. I mostly do the rings and the strips. I have some gems.
Cool.
You can actually sew them.
Oh, wow.
You can get conductive thread, so
Yep.
you can stitch them together. It's very cool. I have not done it
okay,
yet.
I have heard of conductive thread.
And if
So
you-
that's what you use to make like touch, like finger touch,
Right.
like.
Yeah.
Well, and if
Yeah.
you're trying to light up just like a single gem, it's honestly better to just get one LED and a coin battery, and then just create this little electrical tape pocket, and you kind of slide the battery and the LED in there together, and then it activates, and you can just slide it out when you're done. And that's better for something that's just one time. You're just throwing it in, sealing it off, putting it on. But for something that needs to be over a large space, or like needs to be connected in some way for like a pattern or a program, then yeah, it'll work.
Yeah. Let's see.
So I have so many questions. I have another question. So you said you were going to put that the light in a dress.
Mhm.
How are you going to wash that dress? I'm just like quite curious.
Will not wash the dress.
Dry cleaning.
When I plan costumes like this, whether it's like a material that's going to be fragile, or like depending on it how it's going to be. So if anyone's familiar with the Sunset Tamatoa design, it is kind of revealing, but I'm not going to make it like as revealing, because I want to make sure like I can go to the bathroom and like I'm comfortable and it can support the weight of everything that's going to be on it. So I actually made a skirt separate from a bodysuit. So the part I'm going to be sweating in the most will be able to be washed, the bodysuit, because there will be no lights in the bodysuit. And then but the bottom of the skirt, from there. So I have my brain. I haven't cut the holes out in the side of my skirt, but basically, like where all of the gold is in the bottom, I'm going to be gluing down all of the lights, and
Cool.
I'll spray like the waistband or sections that are going to be more common to get dirty. And this is what's great about being in theater, is you learn like ways to clean clothes where you don't actually have to wash them. So like the old like vodka and water trick, or Febreze or something. And I have costumes that I've done that for years, and I know that sounds really gross, but I mean, they don't smell and they're still clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
No,
I do like
get
what
it.
is it? 1 part vodka, 1 part fabric softener, and I think 2 or 3 parts water, and then I just keep adding until I have enough of a mixture to spray on something, and I let it dry until you let it air until it's completely dry. The fabric softener is just so it smells good.
Yeah.
You could also use like essential oils, like if you prefer those, but yeah, no, you don't necessarily have to wash clothing as long as you treat it with some sort of disinfectant. There you go.
Yeah. Wow, that's really cool though. And then how would you then attach it to the fabric? Do you glue it or do you sew it?
You can glue it or sew it. This one, I'll probably do a combination of both for this one just to be sure. Like on the helmet, it's all just super glued down and all the lights still work. So you can do pretty much anything to it as long as whatever you're gluing it with or it's touching is not also conductive. Okay. So, yeah.
What kind of glues would be like? What would you avoid?
I'm not really aware of any conductive glues, so
now I must do research.
I find out
too, but I mean, I'm like a hot glue kind of person and a super glue kind of person, so both of those are good.
I think epoxies would work too because epoxies are just like resins, and so they wouldn't. Yeah. They'd be good with controlling the heat too.
Contact cement.
Probably fine too.
Yeah. Probably. I mean. And there's also the thing is there are a lot of the lights that like Adafruit sells too. Some of them even have like an adhesive on the back, so you can use that, and then just like maybe stitch on the side, or like I like to add channels of things so I can remove my electronics and wash stuff and then put it back. But in cases where I can't wash it, then just like sew it on permanently. Let's go.
Yeah, I thought about like ways to wash it, and I was like, this is too much thinking. But yeah, like, these little guys, this is like an individual one. These are meant to sew on. You can see the little holes.
I really want to try that conductive thread. That thread seems so cool.
I think I have. Oh, here it is. Yep, I got some right here.
So cool.
I haven't tried it yet. I kind of just hoard things sometimes. This is my wonderfully labeled.
A cosplayer hoarding things?
What? Who does that?
Yeah. Don't look at what's behind me. Oh.
Do you know what language your friend did the coding for in your lights? Was that...
So Arduino has a specific language that isn't really any one language. I'm trying to remember what it's close to. It's very close to something.
Isn't it close to like C?
I think it is.
C, something like that. Okay.
But it's really like, I still don't really know code very well, but all of the projects I've done, that's the one I've probably been handheld the most through. But I'm usually pretty good about like finding like a base code of something I want and being able to edit it. So I really overuse the like, it goes from this color to slowly this color and then back to this color. I really overuse that code because it's still really cool, and then it's very simple to edit. All you have to do is change the color in the code and maybe how long or how bright or something is. But yeah, there are a lot of programs also where they make it really easy for you to just like insert what you want. But I think it's close to C. I can't remember, but Arduino has its own language.
Now I've got to like.
That language went.
I've only worked with like the pre-programmed stuff, but I kind of want to code. I like web-based languages, so I might be able to pick it up.
Oh yeah, you should definitely be able to. Like I even tried to do a little bit of course in, I think it was C#. I don't remember. I was trying to do a course in something at my old job, and I was like, wow, I remember typing this in my code or something very similar to this in code for cosplay. So yeah, it translates very easy, even if you don't know anything.
Look, guys, cosplay in STEM. Yay!
It's true.
All right, so we kind of talked about tools. Are there other tools that you use other than your soldering iron?
Helping hands.
Okay.
Helping hands. Sorry.
No. Do you have a pair of helping hands with you?
I do. I should have just like pulled this whole drawer out.
It's the drawer of magic.
Like a human helping hand?
No.
If you have a helper, then maybe. But yeah, they're good. You can buy a 2-pack on Amazon for like $10 or something really stupid cheap. I did that when I was teaching a like entry-level course at Costume College. So these are your best friend. They're really magical, and if you don't have them, then you're probably going to burn yourself a lot or have a bad time.
Yeah, they like can hold the pieces of wire or LED for you in like the right position so that you can get just like right where you need to be.
Yep. I love them. I think I have like 3 pairs by accident somehow. Hoarding things again.
Now at some point the hinge is gonna break and you're like, dang it, I need a new one. It's there.
It's true. I think this one doesn't want to stay. It just kind of like falls down, so I don't really use this one anymore. Oh, nope, it's fine. It was just loose. And then the other thing is heat shrink. Also, you can buy on Amazon. This is not brought to you by Amazon, but Amazon.
I have used heat shrink. I love it so much.
What is heat shrink?
They're like little plastic tubes that come a little bit bigger, and then you put them around. You put them. All right, come on. You put them around your project, and then it shrinks to be tight. I think I have.
Like with heat or what?
Yep, I use a heat gun. I just have
called heat shrink.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you can see the little black parts there. That's heat shrink.
Okay, what would be the purpose of connecting those?
I'm
I'm like really like layman's terms here, like.
So for it, I mean, if you're doing like 1 point to 1 point, especially if you have like the ends of like an LED bulb, which is just 2 prongs, it's always good to heat shrink to block any conductivity.
Yeah, conductivity.
That could potentially happen there, because if it touches another thing or itself, then you're just gonna lose the circuit.
It could even do the same thing for your skin, because our skin conducts electricity.
Yeah, in this particular,
that would cover up like the wires that you would solder together.
Yep.
Okay.
You don't want to see any of the wires that you solder.
Yeah, so if you have like, if you clip it too much and you're like soldering the end to like an LED and you still have so much of that wire exposed, you would slide it over to the end and make sure you heat shrink it so that nothing is off.
Exactly. It also is like a strengthener, because soldering is strong, but like especially in cosplay, you're gonna move and probably make that cable like a little unhappy. Yeah, it's a joint, so you gotta reinforce it.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, this one, there's a jewel in the top of it, and that's why there's 2 separate pieces, because I had to feed the wire through the bottom, because the rest of the stuff would have not fit through. So, but
okay. That's so bright. Wow.
It is. It's very blinding.
That's so cool.
That's how she stuns her enemies.
You're blind. You're blind.
Nice. So then, you mentioned something about smoke machine.
Yeah.
Shall we transition into this whole smoke machine thing?
I don't know how much I can necessarily add to it, because, well, okay. My friend Valkyrie Studios did a really good tutorial of sort of like 2 different types. I would really recommend for anyone who's not savvy in electronics, or like how to like do math and voltage and all that crazy stuff.
I'm a bad Asian.
There's one where it's just like the smoke machine that is wired, so you actually have to activate a switch, very similar to like actually like something that's wired together, like a light project and whatnot. Or there is a way to do it with a wireless controller. The method that she shares, it's a little finicky because of the power that, or the amperage, words are hard, the voltage, one of those words, that the wireless remote needs. So that is the method I'd be like, only do that if you know what you're doing, because you could spend a lot of money and not actually make it work. So there are very rare occasions I feel like you actually need a wireless one, I've learned, because I've made a couple now. But my first one is kind of haphazard. I made this based off of a design that another friend of mine made. So it's powered by an RC car battery, so it's a lot bigger. But that's because I have both of my smoke machines on one circuit.
And those are vapes?
Yes, so it's like the top of an e-cig. It should not normally be this color. It's been in storage for like 6 months. But it's just fog juice that's inside of them, so it's non-toxic and might just smell like burning, but it's not going to set off a fire alarm or anything, because it's just vapes, basically. But yeah, and this is the wireless like piece I was talking about that needs a certain amount of voltage, I believe is I can't remember if that's the right one. Oh, I need to like study more. After you make it, you're just like, I know how this works. And then you put it together. But yeah,
then you tell somebody how to do it, and you're like, wait.
But yeah, but even if this was wired, like it's literally just like top of a e-cig, which I think is called a cartomizer, and then a fish pump. There's a very specific one on Amazon. I think it's the same one my friend wrote. I don't know if the links necessarily to the product still work, but you can just copy and paste that title. I buy them on Amazon. I can't remember the brand of these e-cigs right now, but I like them a lot. And then you solder those 2 together, which is the most difficult part. And I think, did I actually save those pictures? Because I did a tutorial of it my Valkyrie Studios has all the pictures. Because you have to solder, like there's a little nub inside where all the air pushes through into the cartomizer to make smoke come out, that you have to solder to. It's very hard. So I highly recommend you practice soldering before you do this, because if you plug the tip, you gotta just throw it away, because you can't recover from there. But yeah, and then eventually you'll push a button, and even if this was wired, the same result would happen. You turn it on, and smoke comes out.
What a funny noise.
I know, you can't make them quieter. That's the fish pump.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. I've had people like, can you make it quieter? I'm like, no. You cannot.
I mean, you could put like sound dampening stuff around it, I guess, if you want to.
You could.
But
I
then
like
you're
the
gonna
weird.
like bulk it up though, and you might
Yeah.
not. That might not be a good idea.
Yeah, this one fits in my back. I don't know if I actually. I put a bunch of pictures in a folder earlier so I would remember things. Did I actually get a picture? I do have a picture of this. I do. Not that screen. This screen. So this smoke machine pretty much lives in this costume. This is Chandra. She's got lights in hands and in the back. But yeah, it fits in this thing, which isn't really that large. So, but I like the, yeah, I like the funny looks I get from people when I turn it on and they don't know. They're like,
oh my god.
You're like, I'm
Or they're
summoning
like-
my demon. It's fine. It's fine.
yeah, it's fine. And they're like, you're on fire. I'm like, what?
I'm fine. I'm so hot. I'm so hot.
It's chill. But I think I did say this. So this is my mom and I made her cosplay with me.
Oh,
But yeah,
so cute.
you can see smoke on stage. It's really rad, and like the lights are super bright too. We put lights in my mom's hammer. You can't see them right now, but there are lights in her hammer. But yeah, I love smoke machines. I really like my friend's tutorial. I kind of follow it to do like the simple like just wired one now because you can honestly put that anywhere. Like most of the time you're holding whatever is holding that. Like I did a commission for Chandra and I put the smoke machine in what would be this like right underneath the shoulder here. And like there, there's no issue. Like she would click the button and then pose and then click it to turn it off. It was fine. So I was just trying to be super extra.
That's cool though. Yeah, I don't think I will probably dabble in that anytime soon. But when people say when I see like costume smoke, I'm like, whoa, that's so cool. And then I'm like, I have no idea what that even is. Like,
I know there's
like
someone sells kits, which is great if you don't ever want to do it and you have extra income. The only difference is like buying those supplies is actually very cheap. So when I see how much people are charging for it, I'm like, I'm just gonna make it myself because I could make it for way less. But obviously
they're just making it easy.
Yes,
right?
and they make it pretty and they make it last and they're doing the labor for you, so it's like that's totally fine. Yes, I couldn't remember that kit, but yeah. So I mean, they look great. I mean, it's hard for me to want to buy it when I know how to do it. But I think one day I'll buy one, but because they just look awesome.
Well, there's a lot of things like that in cosplay electronics too, because like if it gets to a point where you're like, I just can't figure this out, you definitely could probably find a pre-made kit that all you have to do is just kind of plug it in and go. Just know you're going to pay for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
So,
yeah. But yeah, these ones look awesome. So
Wow.
I love
And
them.
they're probably quieter, or I don't know, or same, or
They're probably the same
because
because I think it's,
vaporizer like alone is like 40 to 40. It's just one of them's like $40 to $44. So that's.
I think they use. I mean, I don't really know what they're using to push the juice out from it, but I'm fairly certain they still make noise. I don't know how much noise.
that's really cool. Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of wonderful resources out there, which is great because, I mean, it's also a good start if you're scared, but you're like, I really want to put lights in this thing. And then you can buy that thing and then be like, now I have time to actually like look at this that I bought and see if I can do it myself. So.
Mm-hmm. I actually do have a soldering iron. I got one for Christmas. So I asked for one. That's kind of like my baby step to like do the next thing. I'm like, okay, there it is. It's sitting there. Let's use it.
Do it. It's addicting. When I start soldering, I'm like, I don't want to stop. I'm just gonna keep going.
I have a hot
also,
knife
like,
that
wood.
also has a soldering tip. So I got a hot knife because I was like, I want all these different tips. So I got a hot knife so I could keep changing the tip out, and then I control the heat. And at the highest heat is like where you want to solder. But if you use the hot knife, you want to go like lower because otherwise it'll just melt everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
We did.
So
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I just had a couple people who brought basically hot knives to the class and they had problems soldering things. So it's just to like keep that in mind. If you're a beginner, I would highly recommend actually buying like a soldering iron.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, because my soldering iron ended up being like the only one used. So it was like everyone in line like waiting to use it. I'm like, oh no. So, yeah.
But so what's the next, like, what are you currently working on? The one that you showed us in the very beginning, is that what your current project, or do you have something else that we haven't mentioned?
Oh my god. Well, I have like cosplay like ADD right now, and I'm working on a lot of things.
Who doesn't?
I have hopes and dreams to make my She-Ra sword light up somehow. We'll see. I've been very lazy. Like the pattern's like sitting on my wall, and I haven't done anything with it. Tamatoa is like the big one. I'm just a little scared to start it because it's like a lot to do. And that one I'm actually going to be doing with Bluetooth boards, so they're a little bit bigger because they kind of hold more information. But this is one of the boards that I have set up now. The code has to be a little different, so it's just a little bit tricky, but it all can be controlled from a phone. And that was the point. Like I could go on stage, and my husband can be backstage and like push the button to be like, and ta-da! So.
What if somebody calls though? Like, oh, Mom, I'm on stage.
Stop! Come back!
That would be funny if like someone calls and plays Shiny, and you're just playing Shiny out of your costume.
That would be so sad. I didn't think about that. Oh no!
That's so cool though. Wow. So there's an app.
Yes. God, I haven't opened it in like 100 years. I think it's like just like an Adafruit app or something like that. But
okay, so it's Adafruit. Okay.
But there are so many boards you can use out there, but that's just kind of like the big step that I'm working on right now. And I just finished, I shouldn't say just, time is weird. It is June. I finished this in January, actually. I finished this in January. Where's the switch? Oh yeah. This is a smoke machine in the staff, but the staff is very tall, so it goes right here. But yeah, this one, if I could turn on, second, there we go. This one just goes from like red to orange, and it's like little baby, what they're called like jewels. So they're like smaller versions of the rings. They're just kind of like flat, and they've got like 5 or 7 of the little gems on them. So this was like pretty much the last thing that I did, and it was kind of hard because I didn't have a lot of space to put like a battery or electronics. So yeah, it was very frustrating, and we had to make this light, so it's very thin. And I had to make sure I didn't break it when I like drilled holes and everything into it.
And this was powered by what?
It is powered by, I think actually, I don't want to take the battery out now. It makes me cry a little bit. It's actually powered by one of these guys. I have a bunch of these little batteries. These are from Adafruit as well. The downside of these is the leads can come out very easily from the battery. I've had many dead batteries from that, and that can be dangerous because these batteries can technically spontaneously combust if they get punctured or they expand. And if one of the leads comes out, you want to just get rid of it as soon as possible, safely, not in your garbage can.
Is this one of the ones that maybe you like protect it with some electrical tape? Like in the
I wrap the crap out of them now with electrical tape. That's the first thing I do. Like anytime I get one, they immediately get wrapped on the top with electrical tape.
Yeah, because I feel like that would help. Because I mean, those I've heard of those. I've been wanting to use them, but I'll know now. Get lots of electrical tape.
Yeah, they're great. And like even this is like my 3rd RC car battery now, and this one even needs to be replaced because this is supposed to be like a flat square. You can kind of tilt a little round.
It's kind of swollen,
but that's just what happens. They eventually expand over time from sitting or use. But because the best thing with these is to run them dead and then completely charge them back up. You never want to interrupt the charge because it's charging it.
We'll have to see how they handle heat, Jess, too. We should check because temperatures here get pretty high.
Against your body.
That's like, the trick when you're in Arizona. Like we always get jealous of cosplayers that aren't here because we're like.
This was in Las Vegas heat over 100 degrees.
Ooh, good. Okay.
Yeah, it's already over 100 now.
Yeah, I think it hit 113 here the other day.
Yeah.
I've been in the heat. You're good. I've been in the heat with them. These ones don't heat up. The only thing that I think technically makes a little bit of heat is sometimes the smoke machine itself, like if it runs too long, which I only do like 10-second bursts and then I turn it off because I have a fear of lighting on fire. I'm pretty sure it'll never happen, but it's good to be paranoid.
So our viewer on YouTube told us that it hit 115 yesterday. So ouch.
It's so hot.
Speaking of commenters on YouTube, since we're kind of getting close to the end, if anyone has any questions, because we have a little bit of a delay, leave your questions and we will go ahead and ask them. It can be about anything. It doesn't have to be about today's subject. If you want to ask Air Bubbles a couple questions, that's fine. Just ask us anything.
Yep.
So where can we find you on social media?
I'm pretty much Air Bubbles or Air Bubbles Cosplay anywhere. I'm very active on Twitter, which is Air Bubbles, and then Instagram, Air Bubbles Cosplay, all one word. And then Twitch, I stream twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays around like 7 p.m. PST. And
What do you play?
I've been playing a lot of Magic Arena and Animal Crossing.
Do you play? I think I'm gonna ask everybody. Do you play Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I don't. That's my husband's realm. He plays all the Final
really?
Fantasy games.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed with it right now. Okay.
My sisters are playing it too, so I'll watch my sister play. But yeah, and sometimes I play Guild Wars 2 with my sister. But yeah, I've been doing a panel, but that's kind of on hold right now. So I'm hoping to get back into showing some more cosplay work too. I kind of just do a lot of stuff.
That's cool. No, that's kind of what I've been wanting to do too, and I've been moving around and different, setups, and so one day I do want to do some cosplay streams. But I used to like stream Overwatch, and that just got all oversaturated, and I just kind of took a break. But that's funny that you say your sister plays Final Fantasy VII Remake, because my sister does Animal Crossing and the like, and I'm more Final Fantasy. Although she's really into Kingdom Hearts, but then like Final Fantasy VII is more my thing. And then she's kind of playing it too, but I already played it twice, and she hasn't finished it yet. So, anyway, sorry to go off topic.
No, that's fine.
Not trying to get to
So we do have a question, and they would like to know what your favorite project has been.
Good question.
I mean, I have like ties. I mean, Chandra's always been near and dear to my heart because I feel like it's probably been one of my best like armor building that I've ever done to date. I still haven't been able to top it. That's what this is from, and it's held up. It was made in 2016. It has been. This piece has been to Japan, not the rest of it, but
what
like
are the
it has
materials?
been a lot. This is made out of Warbler. I'm a Warbler girl. I love Warbler.
I do love Warbler too.
It just lasts forever. That's why I like it. And then my Warlock, the one that had the wings, that one I love very dearly because it's actually like a character like that I play in a game. And then recently, and I didn't actually pull a picture from this because I forgot, but last year I did a commission for Wizards of the Coast, and I made a Chandra that went to Japan, and it was a lot of fun because I think it looks better than my Chandra, but which is fine.
That's probably better off that you did one and then you could improve on the second one. So that probably worked out.
Yeah,
and that was the one that everyone saw.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It really tested my somebody else is going to take this home. I need to make sure the electronics are durable. I need to make sure they're easy to understand how to charge. Like, do they know how to get in and out of this costume? Because it's super hard, like even to do that on yourself sometimes. But I wanted to make sure it was gonna. Yeah, there it is. So. Ooh. And I never got to fit this person until I got there, so it was really one of my favorites because I had a lot of fun making it.
That's so cool.
And the model was just like the sweetest person ever. And she's a famous oh god, I can never say this word because I always forget how to pronounce it. Shogi? What's that game called? Shogi. I think it's Shogi. She's a famous Shogi player.
Okay.
But she's recently been, or I guess recently as in last summer, got into Magic, which is super cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is this article, Sam?
What is this one? Oh yeah, I was like, what is this?
That's what I thought. We'll go some random article.
Of course!
Shameless plug, no. But
that's cool.
Yeah. I really try and make everything kind of a favorite, which is really weird. But the one thing I like to tell people who are getting into cosplay, or even if they're just getting into electronics or something, like understand you're going to be with this project for a while. Treat it like a child or a pet or something, because you're going to be with it for a minute. If you want to really polish it, like you can make anything pretty quick if you really put your mind to it. But you gotta love it, and I try and make sure I love everything I make. So that I can look back on it and make it hard for myself to pick a costume to wear, because I just love all of them. Except for that one on the bottom. I don't really like that one very much.
Look at the links. I'm plugging your links too. Follow all the links right here. All of them.
Oh yeah, the Instagram one is wrong now because I stupidly changed it. I took
follow
out the underscores. There's no underscores anymore. It's just one word.
Now you all know. Listen.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Well, anything else that you wanted to share?
don't be afraid to get into electronics. I feel like
I am.
some people are.
You're talking to me directly, aren't you?
Just
You can do it.
Yeah.
and don't think that if you put lights in it, it means like. And I know some people with contests, they think like bigger is better, or like that person beat me because they had lights in or something. Don't ever think that. Like, just put your heart and soul into it, make it the best you can, and that's what will show through.
Yep.
I've definitely lost with a 10-foot staff, glowing wings. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just like how you did it. It's so poorly worded, but like, don't think that you have to put lights in it. Yeah, it's the craftsmanship that matters, and don't think you have to put lights in it. Just do it at your own pace, do it safely, and enjoy yourself, and buy a soldering iron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Well,
Sam, what are we doing next week?
Okay, so the schedule next week that's on Facebook is wrong. I have to change it, guys. So it says Adhesives 101, that's getting moved. Next week, we're actually going to have a guest. It's going to be Ashley Does Cosplay, and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of things. Because she's a novice cosplayer who's won awards, and she does ball gowns and princesses. So we're going to talk a lot about like that experience. Well, once again, we've got Jinx Cosplay. Where can we reach you, Jinx?
My website's jinxcosplay.com. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I am the Jinx Cosplay. And I'm on I'm on TikTok too, but I don't do anything. But you can add me.
All right, and then Ariel, for you one more time.
Air Bubbles Cosplay everywhere on wow, my brain's stopped working. Air Bubbles Cosplay on Twitch and Twitter, and then Air Bubbles on Twitter, Air Bubbles Cosplay on Twitch and Instagram.
That's fine.
Words are hard.
That works. And then you can go to thermocosplay.com, but I am Thermo Cosplay on pretty much everything as well. You will find me. And before we close for the night, we want to give a shout out to the Black Lives Matter movement. We see you, we support you, and we will keep on donating and do what we can for you. More power to all of you out there right now. Thank you.
Stay safe, guys.
Stay safe. Night, everyone.
Bye.